What not to say if you want to move forward in life. Guys, last week we did an episode on like the daily declarations that I speak and things that you can affirm. If you didn't hear that episode, go check it out. It's all about the declarations because how you start your day, what you speak over your life has way more value. And so often people think that outside circumstances are thwarting things in their life, when in reality, they're shooting themselves in the foot by their very own words that they speak. So, like, we do this all the time, right? The statements that we casually speak, that casually come out of our mouth, are sabotaging our destinies, are sabotaging our futures, are sabotaging our breakthroughs. So your words have power. The Bible says that life and death is in the power of your tongue. Choose life, right? But I'm going to give you a couple key phrases that I hear all the time, and I'm guilty of it, of saying some of them also. I do try to keep a watch on my words, though. But I mean, literally, we are our own worst enemies, and it's by the words we speak. I'm going to hit number one. I'm just. Typically, when you say I'm just, that's not like, oh, I'm just the most positive person in the world. No, typically, when you're doing I'm just, you're like, I'm just not that disciplined. I'm just not that smart. I'm just not that confident. I'm just is a very shrinking statement. It's a shrinking statement. And here's the thing. It's kind of a concrete statement. When you keep making these statements like that, you might take a temporary experience and you like mold it into concrete, and your brain starts to think that that's just who you are. It's a very limiting statement. And I beg you, quit, throw it away. Skip it. Don't, when you hear yourself want to say, I'm just, eliminate that word. Also, eliminate, it's just the way I am. That's just how I am with money. That's just how I am with food. That's just how I am with people. This phrase is often a defense mechanism for staying stuck. Guys, we have to look at what we're speaking. We have to look at how we're seeding our future, right? So take full responsibility, take full accountability for the words you speak and what comes out of your mouth. Because here's the thing, that gives you your power back. When you own the words you speak and you're not just letting it fly all over the place and you're disciplined in your speech, it's an empowering thing to do. And if you just think ultimately, at some point in time, the Bible says you're going to eat the fruit of your words, and you want those to be pleasant. You don't want it to be an unpleasant situation. But when you speak limiting words of your future or limiting words about you as a person, I'm just, throw that word into the pit of hell and lock it with a key. I mean, like literally eliminate it. All right. Another thing that people say is nothing ever works for me. So many times I hear this, guys. I'm in the real estate space. I hear agents talk. I meet with clients and they're like, it's just my luck because nothing ever works for me. They say it over and over and over. And every time I hear anybody, I don't care if you're a new client, I don't care if you're on my team, I'm like, whoa, 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 don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. And they always look at me like I'm crazy. But when they say nothing ever works for me, I always struggle. Things never go my way. Those are statements that literally the brain is always looking for evidence to confirm. So if you want a life that goes that path, keep saying those words. Your mind begins scanning the world for proof of failure. Instead of saying, I'm learning what works, you're like, nothing works for me. Instead, figure it out, right? Say the opposite. Man, I'm not exactly sure how to do this right now, but I know I'll figure it out. Like there's ways to reframe everything that you can say, hey, I'm not 100% sure how to do this, but don't get into statements where you're making like permanent pronouncements over your life, over temporary situations or temporary experiences. Don't lock your brain into it because honestly, your spirit and your mind is always listening to you. They're always listening to your voice. And when you're speaking negative, limiting belief statements, you might wake up and speak positive, and then you just keep killing it with your negative words and your lack of confidence speech. Like we have to eliminate those things. Another thing, and this is always, again, I'm in the sales world, so I'm like all over this. And I actually used to have a real estate coach that if he heard the word try come out of our mouth, if we said, I'll try, he would literally, and the part of the coaching agreement was him, because he thought this word was so toxic to our future, so toxic to anything that we were doing. He said, Amy, if I hear the word I'll try come out of your mouth, or try come out of your mouth at all, I'm going to charge your credit card an extra $1,000 and I'm going to send it to your favorite charity. But that word has to be eliminated from your life. And because typically people don't eliminate things unless there's a pain point with it, he literally, one day, he charged my credit card a couple grand because I said it a couple times. Even trying to explain myself, I said trying. Like I just did it right there, right? He's like, do not. But I'll try basically is I'm probably not going to make it. Listen to this. I'll try is usually a quiet form of quitting before you start. I'll try to make it. I'll try to change. I'll try to be better. What they really mean is I'm not fully committed. I'm not fully committed to the disciplines. I'm not fully committed to the commitment I was making. I'm not really there. Try is already set your brain up to not be there. Guys, again, words have so much power. And if you listen to your words, like your language, we can bring really defeated language into our full of potential life. And if you want to live with full potential and you want to live and you want to experience just the goodness of God, don't kill the seed that you have planted with your words, right? Don't rob your future by your words. The next thing is not necessarily a statement, but it's more of a thought. Complaining language. When you complain, I've heard it said so many times that complainers remain. When you complain, you program your brain to look for the negative. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. I even like when you're rehearsing your problems all the time, guess what life keeps serving up to you? More and more problems. So I don't mean to be hard-hearted, but sometimes when I sit and I listen to people, I'm like, well, no wonder your life looks like what it looks like. All I ever hear is wah, 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 wah. Same, same album, different song, but same thing, right? If you want your life to change, you have to reframe the way you speak about your life. You have to reframe what you say about your life. Don't discuss your problems anymore. Especially, what's the point of discussing your problems? Very few people can solve your problems, so it's not even worth having the conversation. But when you speak the negative, like just think about this. They'll say, oh, the economy's terrible. Oh, the market's impossible. I mean, I'm in the real estate space. I hear this kind of stuff. People are awful. Everything's unfair. When what you rehearse becomes your reality. If you rehearse problems, you strengthen them. If you rehearse possibility, you begin to see opportunity. I'm going to say that again. If you rehearse possibility, you begin to see opportunity. This is where faith language becomes really practical. And I'm a faith person because faith is not just a belief in my heart. It's not just a belief in your heart. It's actually an agreement you make with your mouth. The Bible says that that faith is in your mouth, right? Your words are constantly declaring one of two things. They're declaring faith or they're declaring fear. They're declaring what you see with your natural eyes, or they're professing and declaring a different future. Instead of saying, I don't know how this is ever going to work out. Even if you say, you know what, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to all unfold, but I know that the answers will come to me. I know I'll figure it out. Guys, every day we have the choice to sit there and describe our current situations. We have those options all day long to just continue to act like a normal person and just talk about the problems, talk about the negativity. But I have found that nothing good comes from it. Physically, your emotional state drops, your physiology all shifts. You start to think in a downcast way. And I don't mean to get into like vibrations of energy and frequency because that sounds so new agey, but we are energy. Like that is what. And so everywhere you go, every room you walk into, you carry energy. Does your energy lift the room, or is it just like you're a wet blanket? Every atmosphere gets heavy with your presence. Like so much of it is your self-talk. Like my self-talk, I might be staring at a lot of problems. I might be in the midst of of things, right? But my self-talk is that, you know what? This is all working for my good. This is all working for my good. All the right people are coming to me. The right timing's happening. The right resources are coming. Effectual doors of opportunity are opening before me. Like, this is not a dead end. There's no such thing as a dead end. As long as you're on this earth, you still have a pulse. You still have, like, God's not finished with you yet. But if you want a bright future, it is critical that you practice the discipline of actually watching what you say. Another one that I wasn't going to talk to you about, but I'm actually going to now, is that even where your kids are concerned, because the seeds of poverty and lack get deposited really quickly in the human being. And especially like with kids, it's really critical how you frame things for your kids. And so, like Steve and I, like our kids will want this and want that and all the things. And if we're in a season where we're like, yeah, that's just, we're making different choices, but we'll keep it in mind. Instead of saying, man, we just don't have the money or things are tight or we can't afford to do that. Like those words never come out of our mouth. I don't want my kids talking like that. I don't want them thinking like that because that is hard to pull out of the nervous system. So if you're walking through things and you're like, your kids are like, hey, I want a Disney cruise and I want a trip. And why don't I get those tennis shoes like they have? Or why don't I get all that like, here's the thing. We always just say, you know what? We'll keep it in mind. We're making different decisions right now. And they're like, oh, okay. They think nothing of it. I'm like, yeah, we can totally keep this in mind. But I didn't pour lack into them. And I also poured, we're making different decisions right now. That's a power position. We're choosing to make different decisions right now. Like that's not a priority right now for us. But you know what? We're going to keep it in mind. And so often now we'll walk through Target or whatever. And, kids love to walk through a toy section and be like, I want that or that. Face is always like, hey, mom, can we keep this in mind? Or Foster's like, this Lego set, man, Foster's Lego sets are like, whoa, those things are legit. And he blows through them quickly. And I'm always like, hey, Foster, yeah, you know what? We've bought a few of them lately. We'll keep that in mind. You've got other special days coming up. We'll keep it in mind. Like that didn't pour lack into them. So do you see how your words are always framing up things? And it's really critical. You don't want your kids to grow up with you know, I used to hear this. People would say this all the time. What do you think? Money grows on trees? Like, you don't want your kids to be positioned in lack. Do you want them responsible? Yes. But do you see how you frame it? We're just going to make different choices, but we're going to keep that in mind. That Steve and I use that kind of language a lot. Don't talk to your kids like, hey, we can't afford that. I'd like to get that, but I can't afford that. Like, don't say those dead-ended things. Don't say it to you about yourself. Don't say it about anything. When you have an option, you have something that presents itself and it might not be the financially right timing for you. It's best to just say, you know what? I'm going to keep that in mind. That's not a focus of mine. It's not a priority right now, but you know what? It might be next year. Like there's just ways that keep your mind open-ended instead of limited and locked. My challenge to you is to speak faith over fear. My challenge is you to speak possibility. My challenge to you is to not just reaffirm circumstances over and over and over and get them so deep in your neural pathways, right? Reframe everything. Let's just rehearse this quickly. What we're not going to say. We're not going to say I'm just, because what does it do? That is such a defeated, limited language that you would bring into anything. And it just, when you say I'm just, want, your energy drops, everything drops. Okay? It's loaded with self-doubt, it's loaded with impossibility, and it's loaded with lack. Eliminate it. Eliminate, I can't. We can. Eliminate those things, right? Just eliminate that word. Eliminate the word try, because trying is just literally, when you say I'll try, again, you're basically, it's a soft quit. You're not planning on succeeding. There's no intention of it. That's what that word means. So think about that. Or eliminate this also. This is always how my life goes. Want. When you just want to we always. Guys, nothing is always a never. Don't put concrete words over your life. Don't cement your future with words that limit. Your mind is always listening. Today, again, if you listen to this podcast at all, you know that I constantly, every single day, I drive my kids to school and I make them walk through. I don't make them. They just know that they're going to have to give me their top 5 the things that they're grateful for every morning. And I don't want to hear the same things every morning either. I mean, a couple of them, sure, but like it's not rote. I want to know this morning, what did you wake up thankful for? Because I want to position their brain to think in gratitude because they're going to attract more good things to their life. When they get out of school, I don't just say, "How was your day?" I say, "What great things happened to you today?" Do you see how our words have so much power and they carry such an atmosphere with them? When I say, "How was your day?" Guess what the mind automatically goes to? It goes to, "Oh, I didn't do so good on that test. Oh, this person was mean to me. Oh, I didn't feel so good during gym class," like whatever. But if I say, "Hey, what great things happened to you today?" When I said that yesterday to Foster, he goes, "Mom, at school, what are you talking about?" I go, "Foster, did you have a good interaction with the teacher? Did you have some fun conversations with a friend?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I did. My teacher, we talked about this. That was actually pretty cool." You have to train your brain. It is always looking to confirm whatever bias you have. I can't say it enough. So go back and listen to the declarations of the things that I start my day off with and lock this one in too. Take notes on this. I can't. I'm just. This always happens to me. A complaining, murmuring kind of a general tone, or I'll try. Eliminate them. Eliminate them. Eliminate them. Your life, your future self, your future everything, your health, your finances, your family will thank you that you got rid of impossibility language, that you got rid of defeated language. Guys, you're on this earth for a purpose. You're on this earth with a mission. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to walk alongside of you. I'm grateful to do this life. And so thank you for listening. Thank you for the encouragement that you give out and the responses I get from you. I appreciate it. But if this message has done anything for you, like it, share it, send it to a friend. Guys, we always need reminders. I mean, I have to remind myself of this on the daily because I can fall into the exact same trap all the time. But I know this. I quickly catch myself because I remember, oh yeah, I'm more. I can do this. I'm well able. And I want to infuse well able into you, and I want to infuse it into me. We are well able. So go and possess. Be blessed. Thanks for listening and have a great day.